And welcome to Legal Matters, an informational and news call-in show devoted to legal topics of interest to you, the Stateline viewer. I'm your host, Alan Jones, and with me is Attorney Michael Crosby with the Crosby Law Firm. Attorneys are standing by right now to take your call at the number on your screen at 815-397-2006. They're there to provide you with free information on your legal issue. Now, the call is confidential, so pick up the phone now and call the Crosby Law Firm throughout the next hour. Again, the phone number is 815-397-2006. Now, our opening statement for this episode of Legal Matters will be discussing adoption, guardianship, and grandparent rights. And in the second segment, we'll continue our popular You Want to Know question and answer session devoted to questions posed by the viewer by way of telephone calls and social media. Again, that number, 815-397-2006. Lawyers are standing by right now to take your confidential call. But before we get started, please note the Crosby Law Firm represents thousands of individuals just like you. Just as our local hospitals handle a multitude of healthcare issues, the Crosby Law Firm can help you with a multitude of legal matters as well. So please pick up the phone and call 815-397-2006. The Crosby Law Firm has a Center for Divorce and Family Law, an injury department, which includes, but that's not limited to, auto and motorcycle accidents, as well as slip and fall, medical malpractice, workers' compensation, and Social Security disability matters. There's also a Bankruptcy Institute, an office for DUI, traffic, and criminal defense, an advanced care plan and probate center, and a division for real estate, business matters, and much more. So again, feel free to call and discuss any of these practice areas with the attorney standing by. That number is 815-397-2006. Lawyers are standing by now to take your call. And as a reminder, it is free and it is confidential. So Michael, welcome to the studio and welcome to the show.
Thanks, Alan. Glad to be here, and Merry Christmas to you and your family, and to all of our viewers out there. I hope that you all enjoy the month of December and the Christmas holidays.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that, and same to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Let's get started now talking about Christmas season. Many of our viewers spending time with families, a time for everybody to get together, but there is a question possibly about the nicest gift of all that grandparents can give grandkids, and that's being together. But there are some situations, I'm sure, where grandparents are in a position of wanting to take legal care of their grandchildren. Let's talk about that a little bit. What kind of steps, in what kind of situations, I suppose, and what kind of steps do grandparents have to look at in that term?
Sure. As the producers were preparing for tonight's show, they asked our firm what we thought might be a good topic for the Christmas holidays, the Christmas season, and it occurred to us that people are around the Christmas tree on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and Christmas meals, and it's a time of giving and it's a time of family and sharing, and grandparents and parents and grandchildren and children around the tree. So we thought that an ideal topic for tonight's show would be to discuss grandparents' rights, adoptions, guardianships, where the grandparents are involved with their grandchildren. There's no better kind of giving than for grandma and grandpa to kind of step up, be involved with their children, so their grandchildren. So tonight's show is going to be devoted to those issues, and we'd encourage all of you to give us a call. When you talk about grandparent rights, a lot of times you think about if the parents are incapacitated, or if someone's in prison, or if someone's passed away. Under Illinois law, there's a statute where grandparents can assert their rights. In other cases, it's not a matter of asserting your rights because your child, the parent of the child, is incarcerated or passed away, but perhaps there's a broken family, so you want someone to step up and either adopt a grandchild or perhaps exercise what we call guardianship rights over a grandchild. So I thought that would be a good topic for tonight's show.
Okay, so as far as the level of that, obviously if you're looking at adoption, a child has to be a certain age. Is that correct? Under 18, is that right?
Well, a minor child.
Minor child.
Correct, correct. So grandparents, if a grandchild is the product of a broken family, mom and dad are, quote, not in the picture. We have lots of clients that will come to us, grandparents, wanting to know what they can do to step up and offer grandparent services, parent services, if you will, to their grandchildren. And so that can take many forms. It can be a court-ordered guardianship. it can be an adoption proceeding, or again, they can assert their rights as grandparents under the state law. Those are in very narrow particular cases, though. Okay. There's the Illinois Adoption Act. There's also court-ordered adoptions, agency adoptions. It's all over the place, but these are important issues dealing with family, and so we'd encourage the viewers to give us a call, grandparents particularly, if you have any of those issues.
And that's a tough situation when you are dealing with family, because you have that emotional attachment, of course, being a grandchild or a child, but you also have to look at the legal aspect of it as well and go through that particular. What is the difference, I guess, in personal guardianship and estate guardianship? What is the differentiation in that?
Sure. Probably the best way to discuss it is to spell out what it isn't. It isn't a full-blown adoption. If there's an adoption, the biological parents' parental rights are in effect terminated. And the grandparents, if they're doing the adopting, step up and with a court order or through an agency adoption, but typically a court order, they become the parent, if you will, over the child. A guardianship is something less than a full-blown adoption. Typically, the biological parents' parental rights are not terminated. A grandparent that participates as a guardian will step up, take care of the child, their grandchild, on a day-to-day basis, healthcare issues, education issues, etc. But mom and dad's, the biological mom and dad's rights have not been terminated. The guardianship over the person is pretty much what it just states. It's over that individual child. A guardianship over a person and an estate, if the child for some reason was a trust fund baby and had substantial assets on their own, then perhaps the grandparent would be the guardian over the person and the guardian over the estate, over the child's assets, if you will, as well.
Okay. And that's definitely something they need to get some legal advice on.
Oh, no question.
Without a doubt.
We do a lot of this work in our office, and it's really, really a fine way for grandparents to step up and, in an important way, love on their grandchildren. In most of these cases, it's out of a broken family. Maybe the parents were married and have gotten divorced. Maybe one of the parents has a drug addiction. Sometimes they're not married couples. It's a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, and there's children, and all of a sudden, grandma and grandpa are called upon to step up and participate in raising that child. And the grandparents will come to us and want to know what their rights are, how to preserve their rights. Typically, there are issues when the children are off to school, or the children need to see the pediatrician, the dentist, etc.
Just take care of the daily needs,
Correct.
more or less. All right.
So adoption, guardianship, or, quote, grandparent rights.
All right. Great idea. Thank you very much, Michael, for
You
that
bet.
information. Again, the number to call, 815-397-2006. Stay tuned. Rapid Fire You Want to Know question and answer segment coming up after a break. Welcome back, everyone. It's time for our Rapid Fire question and answer segment called You Want to Know. In an effort to protect viewer confidentiality, please understand we're only using first names. We may alter the location and nature of the question somewhat. And I'd like to remind you that lawyers are standing by to take your call no matter what the topic. So pick up the phone and call 815-397-2006. So Michael, here's the first question. It's from Mark in Boone County. He says, 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, my wife had a private detective serve divorce papers on me. The documents indicate my wife is trying to obtain temporary possession of the house and children all before Christmas. I'm at my wit's end, don't know where to turn. I'd like to call you for an appointment. What do I do next?
Well, Mark, tough time of the year. We got Thanksgiving, Christmas, and you've obviously got some family issues. We provide free initial consultations, and on most of our divorce work, we charge based on a flat fee. So I would encourage Mark to give us a call, come in and see us. We've been doing this for over 35 years. A significant portion of our practice is devoted to divorce matters and family law matters, Alan. These are sensitive issues. When we talk about temporary possession of the house, temporary custody of the children, these are issues that need to be attended to in a timely fashion, and regrettably, Mark is looking at a court proceeding before Christmas. So I'd encourage you to give us a call. Again, the consultation's free. If we elect to accept your case and you elect to retain us, Mark, we do work these cases typically on a flat fee, which will enable you to better budget regarding the expenses in connection with this matter. And most certainly at the Christmas holiday, I want to make sure that you're taken care of, Mark, regarding an opportunity to see your children and be with your children during the holidays.
Yeah, that's a tough time.
Difficult,
that's for sure.
yes.
Second question, James in Rockford writes, as you know, the city recently received an early snowfall. While driving my car, another driver hit a patch of ice and struck my car. Fortunately, the airbag went off, but I still suffered a concussion and broken leg. The guy's insurance company has already contacted me, but the company is hassling me, he says, regarding my car repair, the rental car, my injuries. Can the Crosby Law Firm help me with that?
Another good question. The snowfall, Alan, that we had in November this past month was almost a record snowfall. I can imagine there was a ton of accidents out there. And so, James, we do a lot of personal injury work in our office, a lot of auto accident work. Fortunately, your accident wasn't super serious, but nevertheless, you did suffer a concussion and a broken leg. A significant portion of our practice, Alan, is devoted to personal injury work and auto accidents. In this case, it sounds like the defendant's insurance company is not cooperating fully with James regarding the rental car, the property damage to his vehicle, and perhaps his personal injury. This is not uncommon. Insurance companies are in the business of earning a profit and dispersing dividends to stockholders. They're not in the business of settling claims for a fair and equitable share. We deal with insurance companies every day. James, in this particular case, please remember too, we only get paid if there's a recovery for you. We've handled thousands of personal injury cases over the years, from small ones as little as $5,000 or $10,000 to million-dollar cases. This is what we do in our office. We have a department devoted to this work. So, James, I'd encourage you to pick up the phone and give us a call. You're in my prayers, and I'm just glad you weren't injured worse. It was a treacherous snowfall that we had.
Yeah, it's very tough,
yes.
for sure. Well, that number, as a reminder, is 815-397-2006. Lawyers are standing by. Next question from Jennifer in Belvedere. My father passed away several years ago. My mom died this past October. I've gone through Mom's house but have not been able to find a will. In addition to her house, she left several bank accounts and a life insurance policy, but I don't know what to do next. Are the attorneys with the Crosby Law Firm, can they handle this kind of work?
Well, and at the outset, you indicated that we have a estate planning and probate division in our law practice. A significant portion of our practice is devoted to advanced care plans, wills, trusts, powers of attorney, and to estate administration or probate work. In this particular case, it sounds as if Jennifer's mother passed away without a will. That's called an intestate probate, if you will. And Jennifer, a lot of our practice is devoted to this kind of work. You found that life insurance policy. It sounds like your mother had a house as well. So please give us a call. Again, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, we provide a free in-person consultation. Most of this kind of work that we do is also on a flat fee. So Jennifer, you're going to be able to budget for this. I'll be happy to walk you through the process, and there are steps that can be taken to protect your interests. So I'd encourage her and any other viewers who have these kinds of issues to give us a call.
All right, thank you, Michael. Don't forget, lawyers are standing by for another half hour after the show airs. That number to call, 815-397-2006. That's all the time we have for the Crosby Law Firm. Legal Matters continues with Mark Brennison from the American Law Firm when we return.